Your host, 22.
A funny story, and we were beginning to do this podcast, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, well, basically we talk, but evidently I put myself on mute, and I'm starting this podcast, just talking to myself, just talking in mute. I'm telling everybody about how I made it, and I'm just talking to everybody. I even telling everybody about my bunny rabbit and everything that I got. Just talking. Normally, I hear Anthony chime in once in a while, talking. He doesn't just say, yes, I'm here, but he wouldn't say anything. So, okay, so Anthony leaves. So I'm just thinking to myself, oh, okay, so he just leave me do this podcast by myself. He thinks I can do it by myself because he thinks I'm the best there ever is. But I was like, no, I can't do it all by myself because a podcast. Eventually, he came back and I figured, oh, crap. Oh, there's a lava pit right there. So I just figured, oh, crap, I'm on mute. So I fixed it, and it was a funny blooper. It went on for a little bit. Actually, what I'm going to do is it should still be on my YouTube by the time I'm broadcasting this, but I'm going to delete it because you won't be able to hear anything from me because my mic was on mute. So if it was, and was picking up audio, I'd leave it, but unfortunately it did not, so there's no point in leaving it. All you just see is audio of me running around my Minecraft world, just knowing that I'm talking to myself.
Yeah, it was pretty funny, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah.
Alright, so what do we got tonight, Anthony? This is the return of the Outer Rim podcast, right? So we got a lot of things going on.
Yeah, I mean, Steve, why don't you go ahead and tell everybody what you've been doing and why you haven't been doing videos and everything like that?
Well, I haven't been doing videos, and I know if you've been checking out my Unbox Corner and stuff like that, you know I haven't been doing much of anything. I've been real busy with work. I've been working at Taco Bell, and in case you don't know what that is, if you live under a rock, Taco Bell is a great taco place that has great prices and great food. And there was a man that actually lived for 15 years eating nothing but Taco Bell and remained skinny. So Taco Bell is also healthy. So please go eat your local Taco Bell if you can. Anthony?
No, I was over here plugging Taco Bell in the world.
All right. But yeah, I've been real busy with work. I've been dealing with a lot of things. I've been under a lot of stress. I recently did lose my Chihuahua, my little dog. Unfortunately, we had to put her down, so I have not been in the mood for doing anything. She's about 7 years old. She was the most lovable Chihuahua you've ever seen. She was not like one of them little Chihuahuas you see all the time that's always going getting mad at everything. All she wanted to do was cuddle, you know. All she wanted to do was cuddle, just be lovable. She loved meeting everybody that ever came through our door. She loved everybody. She was the most lovable little thing. She was always there for me through the rough times of my life, and if I ever cry or anything, she was always there licking my tears. I even cried at one point when we thought she had a tumor, and she was licking my tears, thinking, just telling me, her way of telling me, she didn't want me to cry. So, but we lost her this year. She was basically, I told Anthony this story, but she was basically, we don't know if she was attacked by a raccoon or a possum. But unfortunately for her, it was fatal in the sense that her jaw was broken. She did have pretty substantial wounds, but we took her to the veterinarian that night, and it was late at night. And they said that she said that the Precious was able to be fixed with her, the wounds. They were able to stitch it up and fix it, but she was worried that she may not be able to fix her broken jaw. And since her jaw was so small, and depending on the healthiness of her gums, and unfortunately they were not able to fix it. So it was either see what she does in 6 weeks to see if she got used to it like some dogs do, or to either put her down and put her out of her suffering. We decided to put her down. And she was really out of it at the time because she was in pain, so the veterinarian basically gave her some medicine. And I know it's a sad story, but At least she got to go on one last car ride. So now we have her in her house. We also have a little paw made for her that was baked and stuff. So a little paw print, and we have her cremated, sitting next to our other dog, Katie, that we used to have when I was a little kid. So, yeah, I have not been able to. I have not been. That's why I've been absent. I've been dealing with a lot of things in my life, basically. So, I really apologize for my absence on my YouTube channel. And I will be back to it, like I'm doing with this podcast. I really want to get back to talking and enjoying some fun time with Anthony. Now let's get to Anthony. Anthony, do you have a lighter side to this story? Because I think I just made everybody sad.
Oh. I don't know. I was gonna say. I mean, yeah, RIP to Chihuahua. That's rough. But yeah, that's pretty heartfelt stuff right there. But yeah. I've been pretty much the same. I've just been really busy and not wanting to do it, but just not the motivation, to do more videos on YouTube. But now that I have more time and everything like that, I definitely want to get back to the swing of things and start finishing up my walkthroughs that I started a year ago and never finished. But finishing that and then
Anthony, I mean, like you and me are like that one character off the Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius TV show, the one guy that never finishes anything. He couldn't even finish a donut.
Yeah, for real. But yeah, I'm excited because now I have a lot of time now, and I can't wait to start doing more YouTube stuff.
And of course, everybody knows that I live out in the country, so that's why our little Chihuahua was definitely attacked. So, but living out in the country, all I have is satellite internet, so I've got terrible connection. So that's why I'm not uploading periodically all the time. If I had way better connection like DSL, I'd be uploading like weekly, on a weekly basis, every day. If not every day, at least a couple days every week. And having satellite internet, if you know what I'm talking about, you know that if you have satellite internet, it's pretty it's a pretty terrible thing to have. It's like the worst type of internet to have is satellite internet.
Yeah, it is pretty rough.
But
rough. I don't know if you can, but it sounds rough.
Yeah, but this episode though, mainly we don't have anything prepared for this show. It's just basically a return show, coming back in, seeing where we've been, and we're just going to talk about random things this episode. So me and Anthony, before we started talking, me and him have been talking, since before the podcast. We've been talking periodically and stuff. It's just we haven't been doing the podcast recently. Now Anthony has been surprised that I've actually taken an interest in Dragon Age and Skyrim.
Yeah, I've never really seen him play those type of games before, and he's actually give it a shot.
And I think what it is that the fact that what's really getting me into it is dragons, because I mean, as a kid, I always thought dragons was something, but then I lost energy, type of creature, and it kind of makes you think. It's a pretty unique creature, and something so perfectly made. It kind of makes you wonder who came up with it, and like something so perfectly made that kind of would make sense. Does it even exist? What do you think, Anthony?
I mean, wait, what were we talking about?
I'm talking about dragons. Like, whoever came up with the idea.
What do you mean? Who came up with the idea of dragons?
I mean, do they even exist? Or did they even exist? Well, I mean, what do you think?
Honestly, I mean, I can believe anything, really. Like, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, everybody.
We have dinosaurs. Who say that we can't?
Everybody, this man right here believed that the end of the world was going to be 21st of 2012.
Man, you can't just say I'm the only one. Everybody else thought it was gonna happen.
Everybody except me.
I mean, I knew what it. I'm a religious person. I knew that, what I believe.
Yeah. Now that's something you gotta know about both of us. That me and Anthony both are religious types. Now me, I definitely did not believe that the end of the world was going to be in 2012. But Anthony, he is skeptic a little times. He kind of gets things in his mind. Now, what was funny, though, is he wasn't as scared as, if you know who I'm talking about from the previous season, Dominic was. Dom was freaked out of his mind.
Yeah, I don't know, I don't know, it was just always there in the back of my head, just always poking the head at me. So it was kind of hard not to believe in it when everybody else was talking about it all the time. Like, well, shit, I guess it's gonna happen.
Well, and what didn't help was when the 360, when we had the 360s on the dashboard, it was showing a countdown till doomsday, and it was showing asteroids hitting the Earth.
Yeah, that was actually pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie, and it also freaked the hell out of me too.
No, it freaked you out at the time it was happening, but afterwards it made you laugh. And then, of course, and then there was that picture on Facebook of Jesus with him winking with him pointing, going, "You thought I was gonna let the world end before my birthday?"
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that was pretty funny. I'm sorry for if there's any echoing or whatever. That's it. Vision is out of the blue. Not really shut up.
Now, what me and Anthony were talking about before we started the podcast was best shows in our opinions, and I told Anthony what I think was the best show of all time is Breaking Bad. Of course, he loves Breaking Bad, but he's debatable because he's a huge fan of The Walking Dead. If you go check out his channel, he loves The Walking Dead. Check out his Twitter too. He's just a huge fanatic of the Walking Dead.
Yeah, I really am. I love The Walking Dead with all my heart.
And of course, I love Breaking Bad with all my heart.
And yeah, we were just pretty much talking about that. That's gonna go down. The new shows, whatever. Yeah, I think Breaking Bad is better than Walking Dead. Man, that's fine, because, I feel like The Walking Dead is better, because that's my personal favorite. But, honestly, like I was telling Steven, the best show to ever go down is probably going to be Game of Thrones. So. And
I told him, unfortunately, I have not seen that show yet, but I would love to see that show.
Yeah, I mean, it's an amazing show, and once you get into it, you're hooked.
Was what we were talking about, Anthony. I just had it and I forgot it.
Breaking Bad?
No. Something else. And no, not Better Call Saul. And no, I'm not saying no, not Better Call Saul. Then I hate that show. I actually love that show. But no, that's not what we were talking about. We were talking about something else, and I forget what it. And yes, I know what you're looking at on my screen. I know it's not even. I'm just winging it. See, I'm trying to figure out what it was. I know it's long overdue, but Anthony, I'm just going to mention this because I can't remember what I was going to talk about. Carrie Fisher's death.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, yeah.
Now me and him did mention this to each other before and talk about this before months ago as soon as she did pass away. If you go follow my Twitter, you'll see that during that time I did post a tweet asking for prayers for her and for family. And unfortunately, the day after that, she had passed away. And of course, every Star Wars fan was absolutely stunned by the death of Carrie Fisher. We did not think that, if of all people of Star Wars, that she'd be the first one to actually pass away.
Yeah, it was very shocking when she actually passed.
It is, and you know, Anthony, do you remember what you were doing right before you heard about her death?
Honestly, I had just not just finished, but I had just saw my second time watching Rogue One.
Oh yeah.
Not just finished, just it was a day after of seeing my second viewing of Rogue One. So
yes, Rogue One. Rogue One, another great movie, by the way. Rogue One, a great movie. Of course, as a huge Star Wars fan, I loved Rogue One, and my favorite scene of all time, of course, and just as I know as every Star Wars fan, is of course the ending to Rogue One.
No, but seeing her there, you know, at the end of the movie, spoilers there, I mean, it was just really sad, you know.
Yeah, and you know something, I think the first time I realized that, I mean, do you remember exactly where you read that she died or heard that she died?
It was actually on Twitter.
I was the exact same with me. I heard it, and heard that Carrie Fisher died, and I was absolutely stunned. I was like, "Are you serious? Princess Leia is dead." But of course, I didn't think of her as Princess Leia. I thought of her as Carrie Fisher, the person. You know, I'm like, Carrie Fisher, the person, is dead, and it, just knowing that I had seen her, her family had got on her Twitter and posted a tweet of her dog looking out the window saying she was waiting for mommy to come home, and I thought that was so sad. And then knowing that she dies the next day, I was like, man, that's gotta be terrible. And then to see Mark Hamill's tweet and everything, and how Daisy Ridley, who's all, by the way, my favorite actress, and by the way, my very huge celebrity love, she announces something about her too, and I'm just like thinking, you know, this is crazy. I thought if anyone was going to die first, it'd be James Earl Jones. No offense to James Earl Jones, because I absolutely love James Earl Jones, but considering that in factual evidence that he is older than Carrie Fisher, so I thought if anything was, you know, it'd be him. But I read it on Twitter and I was absolutely stunned, and just as I know every Star Wars fan ever was.
Yeah, everybody that found out was just in awe, really. So.
And then what made it more weird was her mother died a day later.
Wait, her mother? I thought she. I thought you said a year later. Yeah. I was gonna say yeah. I think she died a day later, right?
Yeah, no, she died exactly a day after her daughter's death, and she said she was going to be with Carrie, and I thought that was so odd, but yet it's kind of so sweet at the same time. Like, and you know what I think? It's because her mother was already sick, but I think the knowing that the death of her daughter made her lose the will to live, you know, and she was wanting to really see her daughter again. Because obviously no parent ever wants to see their child die before them.
Oh yeah, obviously not, yeah. But yeah, she's gonna be missed. I really wish she, you know, I would love to see her in future Star Wars films, and I don't know how they're gonna, you know, fix that, you know.
Yeah, no, that's the other thing I was gonna bring up was I don't know what they're gonna do for the newer Star Wars movies. Like, how are they gonna? Because obviously she's supposed to die. If Carrie Fisher's dead, they're gonna kill off Princess Leia. But you know what they may do too, and I don't know if they'll do this, but considering what they did with her in Rogue One, they may do the same thing in the new Star Wars movies. But
that's what I was gonna say. Like CGI her in.
Yeah.
Or, you know, I mean, it'll be a cheap way to do it, but you know, they could also do like a death, like have, like, you know, Snoke like destroy her base if he's at with just like a missile, or not missile, a beam or something. And,
yeah.
You know, it's like that. But I mean, people would be mad about it, obviously, but
Yeah, but I look at it, but see, I wouldn't be mad about it because I'd be looking at it this way. They gotta compensate for some way, you know. Carrie Fisher died. They can't do what they want to do.
yeah,
It's not their fault. It's not Carrie's fault, you know. It's just something that happened, and they gotta make up for it. And
if she survives this movie, it's gonna be awesome to see what they do with her in the ninth one.
Yeah.
So nice.
Oh, I remember what the other thing I was going to say, Anthony. Also, my favorite WWE wrestler of all time retires. You know, and a 52-year-old Undertaker has retired from the WWE. And honestly, I mean, I was upset like everybody else, but I was choked up, but I wasn't crying because I was looking forward to this because I felt that The Undertaker very deserved it. So, I mean, what do you think?
I mean, yeah, he definitely deserves a rest for wrestling. I don't know how many years he's been in there. Since what, 1990, right?
Since he's actually been wrestling since before 1990. He's been wrestling just about 30 years now. But basically almost 30 years as The Undertaker. So he wrestled as The Undertaker since 1990.
Yeah, so I mean, he definitely deserves a rest, and he definitely is going to be missed. I honestly think I mean, he's not my personal favorite wrestler, but I think he is probably the greatest wrestler in WWE. My favorite wrestler is Triple H.
I thought it was Stone Cold.
That's the greatest. No, it's always been Triple H. I love Stone Cold, but Triple H is always, been my number one.
Well, and the other thing too is, and this is what I cannot get enough. Everybody, you need to shut up. I'm tired of hearing everybody saying Undertaker is crowd addicted. He's addicted to the crowd. That's why it took him so long to retire. No, look it up. You look on podcasts of other wrestlers talking about The Undertaker. They talk about how he was a father of the WWE, how he was like the go-to guy in the locker room, how he was always there giving advice, helping other superstars. He was the man who would always advance the other youthful young guys there in the wrestling community. He was there to actually help the other guys in the ring to make them look better. When he'd fight them, he'd help them and make them look better. Now, it was nothing to do with him being crowd crazy. No, he stayed there because he felt he had a job to do to give a new generation of wrestlers something to fight for, something to look forward to give kind of an old school look, to look how wrestling really is. That's what he was doing. And he knows that a lot of the people that were watching wrestling now have been watching WWE since the Attitude Era, and he knows that. Now, he knows that other superstars that are there actually watched him and would want to learn from him. So he teaches. It's like, and this is exactly what Mr. Kennedy says. And he said it was like a mountain. Okay, Undertaker has his own mountain. Other superstars have their own mountain. Now, they're all climbing on their mountain, kicking each other off. But Undertaker's on his own mountain saying, come on, guys, come on up. There's plenty of room for everybody. And everybody's fighting each other for their own mountain. Undertaker's there to help the other wrestlers. He's there. He was always there. That's why, and I don't care what everybody says about Roman Reigns. I mean, yeah, I don't really like the guy either, but he is a great father. And whether you see it or not, Undertaker sees something in him that we don't. And I trust Undertaker's judgment. He's been there in the WWE since 1990. He's been there through thick and thin, through WWE, even when they were being sued and stuff. He's been in there forever. So no, Undertaker was not addicted to the crowd. He was not there for any other reason except to better the company. That's all it was to him. No matter what you think of how they treated him, you don't know how they treated him behind closed doors. So we have to take Undertaker's gut feeling and knowing that he's a smart man, he's awesome, that he's got something to provide, and that he trusts Vince McMahon. What do you think, Anthony?
Yeah, when you said I agree. Never really saw Undertaker that much, but I'm definitely gonna miss him.
Yeah.
We're talking about.
No, but yeah, it's like, when was the first time you ever saw Undertaker, Anthony? Just, you know, as kind of a tribute to Undertaker, when was the first time you ever saw the Dead Man?
Oh man. You know, I said that I've been watching wrestling since like 2001 maybe, but the first time I ever seen the Undertaker, it was just by chance. I think it was one of my I think it was my uncle. My uncle, he had bought one of the pay-per-views. I think they're outrageous for like $50 for the pay-per-view, $50 or whatever. I think it was
Oh
$80,
yeah,
I don't know.
no, pay-per-views
But it was
back
the
then,
one
dude,
with-
before WWF Network was like $60 a pay-per-view.
Yeah,
In case you kids
he,
listening don't know, that's what WWE used to do before the WWE Network ever existed. Used to buy the pay-per-view, just like back in the 90s. You actually used to purchase the pay-per-view. They used to be $60, not $9.99 a month. Okay, go ahead, Anthony.
But yeah, yeah, they were expensive. But no, yeah, he had got the, I don't remember what pay-per-view it was, but he got the pay-per-view where Kane had first appeared for the first time.
Oh, yes. I know one you're talking about.
I think he was fighting Shawn Michaels. I think that's what it was. And I saw him there, and you know, seeing Kane do all these, you know, crazy things, and I don't know what was going on, but I know I was scared though. You know, because you know, I was just a little kid, so I was all.
Well, those little kids, when Undertaker first came out, were just petrified, especially because all the kids back then, in case you little ones who are listening to this don't know, and if you're 10 years old, why are you listening to an adult podcast, by the way, don't know that Hulkamania, Hulk Hogan used to be the kid favorite back then in the 90s. Hulkamania was the biggest thing, and when Undertaker challenged Hulk Hogan, and all the little kids were petrified, especially when they realized that Hulk Hogan actually was defeated by Undertaker. Now, obviously, all this stuff is scripted, but as a little kid, you know, you never know this stuff. You think it's all real and everything else. So they were terribly petrified and scared of this man who came in and defeated their hero, someone who had never lost actually at a regular match before, and who's got the scary music, who looks ominous and stuff. To see this man come in and just demolish their hero was something never heard of, because obviously in happy stories the hero always wins. So for something like that to happen in real life, you know, it gave them fear.
Yeah, I mean, you know, honestly, it was the Undertaker that actually got me into really wrestling, because, yeah, I saw that, and I never saw it again, you know, with Undertaker and Kane, but it was the first time was when I saw Undertaker, like, he, like, did, like, some kind of crazy thing, and, like, lightning had hit the ring, or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, wow, this is actually really cool. And then after that, that's when I started, like, not watching it every week, but whenever I saw it on TV, as I said, I'd watch it.
Now, the first time I saw Undertaker, first time I saw Taker was in '97.
Yeah, I never saw them.
But that was the only time. Now it was my dad. He used to watch wrestling all the time. He saw Undertaker since he first started in '90. So, you know, of course, my siblings have always loved wrestling. So, you know, I didn't think of nothing much of it. So my nephew, no, I'll take that back. My brother, my younger brother, he loves Rey Mysterio. So he used to get these WWE games, and I used to hear about the Undertaker from my nephew too, because he used to be taken to wrestling, you know, pay-per-views and stuff by his grandpa. So I used to hear about The Undertaker, and then when I'd see and watch him in the video game, I watched The Undertaker, you know, CPU fight or whatever, I'd see how crazy this guy was, and this was during his American Badass. So I was like, man, no, I ain't facing that guy. Like, during the Royal Rumble, I remember exactly one time Undertaker came in, I'm like, oh no, and I didn't really watch him, so I just know he was crazy. I just knew that, you know, just watching The Undertaker in a video game, I just saw how powerful he was in a video game, and I was like, no, I'm scared of this guy. And then soon after, we went to a wrestling match where I used to live. It was at the arena, and we saw Eddie Guerrero. I miss Eddie Guerrero, by the way. But Eddie Guerrero came out. JBL was talking out. So Eddie Guerrero, basically, if anybody knows what episode it is, please let me know, because I forget which episode it is. I have it recorded on VHS, but we do not have a VHS player. But it didn't happen until after it went off the air. Eddie Guerrero took JBL's 10-gallon hat, took it around. People were dumping things in it, beer, spitting in it, and stuff like that. Oh, we loved it. And then Eddie Guerrero eventually left, and JBL just looked pitiful in the ring. And all of a sudden, Undertaker came out, and I was wondering what the heck that was, because I didn't know Undertaker wasn't the dead man. I thought, you know, he's American Badass and all that stuff. And then my nephew said it's the Undertaker, and I was like, Undertaker? And then I immediately shouted up and stood on my feet screaming. And Undertaker came out. He just looked at JBL. Everybody was going crazy, and he eventually just stared down JBL and then gave him a tombstone pile driver. And I just see him laying there all dead, and I hear this music playing. I'm like thinking, that is so strange and odd. And I'm like, this is awesome. I'm just thinking, this is so cool. But the first time I saw Undertaker, I was like, man, what a big forehead. So I'm like, but now as an Undertaker fan, I don't look at that. So it's like, you know, I look at Undertaker as a legend. So, but I immediately fell in love with Undertaker, and when I had the program, I looked at Undertaker, and of course, at that time, Undertaker, the programs that they had was of Undertaker as the badass. They didn't have him as a dead man yet. So it was shortly after he became the dead man at WrestleMania 20. He returned. So it was like, man, this is so awesome. So the following year, we went to Cleveland, Ohio for the Survivor Series. Was it the following year or 2 years after? But Undertaker was facing Heidenreich at Survivor Series, and it was so cool. And I had a sign that I still love to this day, and I had on, Undertaker is cool because he's old school. I was so proud of that saying that I came up with. And of course I did. And I was a kid, Anthony, but ever since then, I've gone to ever since then, though, even at that event, ever since then, I've gone to every WWE event dressed as the dead man. I actually gotten everything separate. I actually have the replica, the exact hat that he's got, the Billy Jack hat and everything, and the coat and everything. I've gone dressed as a dead man, and I've even gone from his Halloween, as Anthony here knows. So it's always been such an awesome thrill, and I've gotten so many compliments. Anybody who knows wrestling knows who I'm dressed up as. I even went to school for a Halloween contest, or Halloween at school. When we were in middle school, you were able to dress up back then. Now you can't do that because of all the, you know, politically correct terrorist acts. Anyway, I was able to dress up as the Undertaker, so I dressed up as Undertaker, and there was a lot of people who knew who I dressed up as. And that time, I actually had a V for Vendetta hat, and it was flat, so I did not have the replica Undertaker hat at that time. But Undertaker was a big part of my life and a big part of my childhood, and he helped me and dressing up as him and being involved in wrestling actually helped me get a lot of friends that I never would have gotten otherwise. So, and that, I really thank Undertaker for that.
Yeah.
And actually, I have to say, Undertaker actually, because I actually went into a contest on PhenomForever.com for best Undertaker impersonation, and I actually won second by one vote. I lost by one vote, and I did the whole entrance of the Undertaker. Everybody loved the lighting effects, loved the costume, and loved the exact way I looked exactly like the Undertaker. The only guy that won was a guy who spoke like Undertaker, and of course I can speak like the Undertaker, but I wasn't going for that. I was going for entrance because I thought the entrance was the coolest thing. So it was just an awesome experience to do. And you know, he helped me with doing things with, you know, impersonation and stuff. He got me into being able to impersonate things, and I really he's basically an inspiration, and he's an inspiration to a lot of people. And Anthony, I kind of want to know, have you ever had a wrestler inspire you to do anything before?
To inspire me? Like, in what type of way to want to
Well,
do
you know,
things?
anyway, I mean, you remember Kofi Kingston, he loves Dragon Ball Z. I mean,
Oh, like so you mean like something like that?
Well, I mean, like how Undertaker
really.
inspired me to like, you know, like impersonate things and do voices and stuff like that and act.
Honestly, no, I don't think so. Where I got inspiration from was honestly probably from Dragon Ball Z as a kid. So.
In case anybody who doesn't know what Dragon Ball Z is dragons with balls.
You're gonna lose some viewers for that one.
I'm sorry, but I'm not a fan of Dragon Ball Z. I got nothing against it. I've actually tried to get into it, and I respect it. I'm just not a fan of it. So, but Anthony understands that.
That's cool. Yeah, not everybody's gonna like it.
Anthony knows I've actually given it chances before. Anthony knows I've tried it.
Yeah, but you know, like I was gonna say, even though Steven doesn't like it, you know, I mean, and there's a lot of people that don't like it, you know.
But
like
there
it,
are those people that like it, that get into that stuff, you know.
No, but it's still a very successful show, so that's all that really matters.
Exactly. It's like some people may like a certain other show on TV, like The Office. You know, I love The Office, but there are some people that don't like it because they just don't get it, and that's fine. You know, you don't get it, you don't get it. You know, it's not made for everybody.
I actually am one of those people that don't like The Office.
Yeah, Anthony isn't. You know, it's just because he doesn't really understand the humor and stuff like that. You know, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, it's type of dry it's type of dry humor, and of course I'm a type of person that likes dry humor because it's like, to me, dry humor is a type of humor that you deal with in everyday life if you ever to deal with that, like something that happens, but no one really laughs at it because they're embarrassed to laugh at it. But if you're watching it, you think it's hilarious, so it's like that type of stuff. So
I did try it out though. I watched probably like 2 episodes of it, and it just didn't get into it. Wasn't my thing. Wasn't my type of.
Well, Anthony, I think what the fault was, Anthony, is I showed you the first 2 episodes, and that's not the good, because it actually got better as it went in.
Yeah, but the thing is, for me, like I always feel like whenever a show doesn't grab you in its first like 4 or 5 episodes, it's not gonna grab you at all. And I watched the 2 episodes, and I was like, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna like this at all, even though I haven't watched all 4 or 5. So, I mean, that's why I pretty much gave up on it and never went back to it.
Speaking of shows, we have to talk about the return of season 3 of Better Call Saul.
I don't know why we're gonna talk about that. I haven't watched any of that yet.
Yes, but I do have to mention. No, but we're just talking about the start of season 3. Anthony, he lives in Anthony lives in Texas, okay? And of course, if you've been keeping up with Better Call Saul, you know Los Pollos Hermanos, they actually had a location open up in Austin. Anthony over here decided, I ain't gonna do it.
I mean, I didn't even know it was going down. I didn't even know what was going on.
But had I been there, I'd have been going to it. I mean, I would have been.
If I had known that, yeah, I would have found a way to go. Definitely.
I have never seen any other show that has actually provided something from an actual show before, and they were actually hiring people to actually work at Los Pollos Hermanos for the next couple of weeks. And if I was living in Texas, I would literally applied. I'm not even kidding, and Anthony knows I would have, because I'm a huge fan of Breaking Bad, and he knows I would have done that. And yes, thanks to Anthony. Well, and my brother was trying to get me on it too before Anthony actually was. He was like, "Hey, Steven, you really need to watch this episode, man. It's got a train in it where they're hijacking a train and everything else." And I watched the scene and everything,
yeah,
but
I pretty much forced you to watch it.
Anthony did force me to watch it. Anthony did force me to watch it, even though I saw the train scene before. But anyway, I would have literally worked at Los Pollos Hermanos, and I would have loved to have worked there. And I would have been so proud to have put on my resume and former employee of Los Pollos Hermanos. I would have loved that.
I mean, it sounds awesome. I wish I would have known. I'm surprised you didn't tell me anything about it.
Well, remember Anthony, remember Anthony, I was still dealing with a lot of stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
I wasn't one.
At the time, I didn't know.
Yeah. Yeah, but it is my fault. But I was thinking you'd keep up on that stuff, like especially if you need. That's why you need to follow Better Call Saul AMC on Twitter, because they'll tell you about that stuff.
Yeah, I don't follow them on Twitter. I mean, I follow The Walking Dead and AMC, but I don't follow like Better Call Saul, because I mean, I don't. Like I said, I've only seen like the first or two.
Well, no,
of,
they
Better Call Saul
on but they don't tell you any spoilers on there though.
Oh, no spoilers?
Yeah, no, they don't tell you any spoilers. They just tell you, oh, Gus Fring's returning, or like they keep with the stuff with season 3 coming up. They don't tell you anything. They just like, oh, who's Nacho working for now, or anything, like, you know. They don't tell you any spoilers from season 3. So if you've never seen it and you go into their Twitter page, you wouldn't know what's going on.
Oh, well, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I know they did release some Twitter Valentine's Day cards. There was one with Mike on it saying something saying that he's watching you, like I'm watching you, or something like that.
That's pretty funny.
No, I love Mike, dude. Mike was like the best side character besides Jesse and Saul. Mike was like. Because, in my opinion, Gus is another protagonist. He's not a side character. He's another protagonist in my mind. Mike is a side character because he's basically working for Gus. But eventually, I think he does become a main character in Season 5. But I thought that Mike, in my opinion, was my... I mean, Anthony, if you sit down and watch Better Call Saul, you'll love him even more. That's what I'm telling you, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to binge watch it sometime.
No, not sometime. Before Monday.
I don't know about that. I'll try, but I don't know if I can get into that.
Well, because I like us to do a Better Call Saul podcast.
Nah, that'd be pretty cool. That'd be really cool.
Because I told you, Anthony, I'll sit down and watch Better Call Saul with you.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get into that sometime.
Not sometime, before Monday.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
Better happen.
I mean, I want to watch it, but I just don't have time to sit down and watch both seasons. How many episodes are there? Jesus, Steven, you probably just destroyed my ears.
Sorry, I fell off my gigantic tower of windows. What?
I don't even remember what I was saying now.
Oh no, there's only about 10 episodes of Better Call. It's basically the same thing as Breaking Bad. You know, basically 10 episodes of Better Call Saul for season 2, and basically I think about 10 episodes for season 1. So, actually, I think less for season 1. No, wait, no, it's about 7 episodes for season 1, 10 episodes for season 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's not a lot. So, you know, it's enough to get done before Monday.
But I don't know if I'll have the time though. I'm gonna have to catch up later on. I'll watch a few, but I have to catch up. Like,
you heard it here, everybody.
They always show the episode that aired before on Monday, so
you heard it here, everybody. We will not be doing a Better Call Saul podcast on Monday.
I mean, probably not right away, but I mean, but like I said, not like what I was going to say before Steven interrupted me again. But the next Monday after the premiere, I should be caught up by then, and they always usually air the episode that aired before, so I'll be able to catch up right there.
Yeah. All right, Anthony. Well, I gotta go to the restroom real quick. So you keep our viewers busy till I get back.
Alright, sounds good. But yeah, I'm sorry I haven't been doing any any videos for my viewers here. I know Steven, he's been doing his stuff on his channel, you know, his own thing over there, which is cool, you know. He has some pretty cool content. But for me, I just been doing some live streams here and there with friends, like For Honor and everything like that. But for stuff that I'm gonna be doing soon, like I want to do gameplay for Persona 5, and well, not gameplay, but like a walkthrough, maybe a walkthrough. I don't know for sure because I heard it's pretty long, and I don't know if I have time to do all that. But I'll probably do like little let's plays here and there of my best moments or something. And I also have a couple friends that I might be doing another podcast with. Us essentially Walking Dead stuff. So if you like, let's see, I'm a big Walking Dead fan. So huge. Walking Dead is my baby. But be doing a Walking Dead podcast, and I'll also be talking about Walking Dead Telltale games, which is amazing. If you guys haven't checked out yet, you need to. Those are really good. Episode 3, it just came out, I think, last weekend. I mean, not last weekend, last week. And so, letting you guys know about that, and the finale just finished too, for Walking Dead, on Sunday. Oh, I'm so sad that it's gone. So sad.
Looks like blood. Come here.
Looks like what?
It looks like blood. Come here.
So did I know I've seen it before?
No, it's on the low. It's I'm talking about huge. Come here. It's not up in the sky. It's right there. Come here.
Oh, I'm tired.
Just come here. It looks like blood.
Well, I know what it looks like. I saw it.
No, but that was a high.
In Joplin, yeah.
Yeah, that was high. But this is different.
No, I'm going to see it.
No, come here. Seriously.
It'll probably come again. Oh. You bit yourself. You stupid.
Alright, I'm back. Anthony, there? Anthony? Anthony? Hello? Anthony? My channel, and I don't know how long this has been since Anthony's left, but I hope you enjoyed this episode of The Outer Rim, our return episode, and if it was technical difficulties or anything else, I apologize. Okay, there goes all the gravel. We will be back with you again next week, and we hope you join us next week for another episode of The Outer Rim podcast. Hope you guys enjoy your week, and you have a great day.